Good morning, everyone. Mike and Corey here today with three exciting topics. Maybe a fourth would be it's Friday and it's almost the weekend. But when I'm wearing this green shirt, I like to wear it when the markets are green. And so the first topic we're going to talk about market highs, all-time highs. If I told you back in April when the world was coming down with tariffs, the markets were off over 10%. Everyone is like, what is going on? If I said by the end of the same quarter, end of the second quarter, we would be at all-time highs again, I think you'd be stunned. You'd be like, there's no way. But that is where we're at. So that's one topic we're going to talk about. Another one is part of the reason we're at a high is China and U.S. trade deal. And then the last, I don't know if it's the reason, but I think it's some good news in there too. But Nike came out with earnings, and Corey is going to endorse the brand and wear Nikes forever, right? If they ever had them wide enough for my feet, maybe I would as well.
Mike, I'll tell you what, my wife ordered some other brand, a couple, and I was like, we need to send that back.
Imposter.
I don't think you understand what we have going on over here, but
that's why we only use NVIDIA chips. We only use Apple iPhones. Sorry, Samsung. But this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence on anything you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on ankerstarwealth.com, and the opinions and buying habits expressed are mine and Corey's alone. Okay, so let me show you the numbers in the green. I don't really worry too much about the Dow, but the S&P is up half a percent today, and the NASDAQ the same. So what I wanted to drill in is look at the S&P, and you can see the little yellow headline across the top, new 52-week high, and that's really new all-time high. So this is a one-year graph. I'll just go look at a year to date. That's kind of more exciting there. So when the year started, it was around 5,700, went up, hit all-time highs in the middle of February, and then boom, big sell-off all the way to the middle of April. Many people questioning, what is Trump doing with these tariffs? Like, why are we doing this? We're destroying the world as far as the economy. And then, oh my goodness, here we are back at the top again. So with that, I'll kind of take it over. And here's what we see. China confirms details of U.S. trade deal. Now, I'm sure there's fine language to negotiate within this, but Trump came out and said, yep, we signed this deal with China. Has to do with allowing rare earth metals, easing of tech restrictions. Are tariffs gone forever? I doubt it, but they are simply a tool. And you're seeing maybe that tool works. Maybe we didn't think it would work. Maybe some people question that. It's a negotiation. And here we are, at least at some part. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all and we'll never have issues with China again, but we're making progress. And that's all we can expect. And if you consider that this is really the end of June, we're kind of halfway through the first year of this presidency and what's going on, pretty impressive. I mean, last Saturday, bombs are being dropped. The market's concerned on that. And here we are a week later at all-time highs. So I'm going to say good news. I'm wearing green. Maybe what I'll do is say every time the market hits a new high, I'll wear this Ankerstar Wealth brand. But it is good. So with that, take us over, Corey, Nike.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've been dealing with the Nike at the house and all that, which we addressed already. But Nike did come out with earnings yesterday. This is one of those where, kind of the baseline expectation among the investing community is that Nike's sort of dying, if not mostly dead at this point, kind of thing. And so expectations were low, right? It's that Mike and I always talk about that student. What kind of grade did they turn in? It's like Nike's parents expected them to turn in like a 71 or something on the test. and they probably turned in like a 78 or so. So they're still holding. They are going through some hard times, and I'll elaborate on that in a moment. But revenue beat by 400 million, and that is probably the better part of earnings, is that revenue is more resilient than everyone's expectations out there. So that's okay. We'll take that. Now you can see though there's problems here, because the 3 months ended in May of 2024, revenue was up 12.5 billion, and here the 3 months ended in May of 2025, you're looking at a little over 11 billion. So you're down 12% in that sense. Cost of sales fell a little, obviously didn't offset the difference, but and then margins are falling as well. Obviously, for any company that sees revenue fall, your margins are going to fall some, because you have your overhead costs have adjusted to that higher revenue base. And as that revenue base shrinks a little, you're going to not be able to totally reset your overhead costs that went into that. But nonetheless, so this is all bad news, right? The stock you see is up today quite a bit. And here's really the reason for that. And I'm actually going to rewind a little bit and tell a little bit of the story of how we got here. So going back to kind of the COVID era, everything was work from home, stay home. Nike had a CEO who wasn't part of the company at that time. He was a brand new CEO. He was like a consulting guy, and he was running some numbers, and he decided that if Nike just stopped selling to wholesale, they could sell all their shoes on their website and increase their margins. And so the market really liked this idea of higher margins. Well, fast forward, Mike, it turns out that not everybody will ever buy their shoes online. There's a large portion of the population who will always buy their shoes in person. Oh, Mike, and what about, where do you fit into that? Are you like an online guy? I know you're consistent on the New Balance.
Yes.
Are you
I
online?
am consistent. I'm online. Amazon, one of our holdings, has my business. I buy the same tennis shoe, that's old school right there. The same size, same color, over and over. So when I go in that Amazon basket, it's like you bought this 10 times before. I go through like 2 pair a year, and they just rotate out. So I did buy a Nike once, a Nike shoes online. And this is over before that consultant was there, probably 10 years ago. And I was very excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to spend some extra money. It's definitely more expensive, and get my initials on it. And they came, and they were too thin for my feet, and I was very sad. So
sadness. Mike is feeling the sadness. Well, so to that point, Mike, you mentioned Amazon. That consulting guy, he also cut off Amazon. So Nike hasn't been selling on Amazon for 5 years. They cut off almost all their wholesalers. Yeah, it turned out that what else happened? The wholesalers, did they lose shelf space? No, they didn't. They just gave their shelf space to other companies. So Nike sort of created their own competition out there. There's a brand from Switzerland that you've probably seen that's grown quite a bit because of this. There's a whole slew of companies that
Corey, here, what else happened? I bet you that CEO is no longer working for Nike.
Right. Yeah. So fast forward to now, right? So that CEO was removed. Obviously, they brought in a guy who was a Nike veteran. He's been around for decades, and he recognized immediately we need to get back to wholesale and fix all those relationships. So here's what happened, Mike. Yesterday, they announced on the earnings call that starting, they're getting back to growth. Revenue growth is coming back for their wholesale channel. That's what they call it. Starting with the holiday season. So that'd be not Q3 of 2025, but Q4. Now, what they've also done, they are still going to have some other revenue headwinds, because on their website, they're basically turning their website into premium offerings only. And that way, the wholesale business partners, they feel like they've got exclusivity to everything else. So it's like literally a full reset of everything the consultant guy did, right, over time. So you're seeing when the analysts heard wholesale is returning to growth, they took that as, hey, this is working. Their strategy's working, and it's working this year, right at the end of this year. So you're seeing some price hikes. Now, Mike, in the market, we know nothing happens on accident. There are no accidents. So look at this. I drew us a trend line. This is now just a straight trend line going back to their August 2021 highs of $175 a share. And you can see we bounced on that trend in May of 23. We spent about a week above it in December of 23. We bounced in February of 24, June of 24, September of 24, March of 25, and now we're back to the trend line in June of 25. No accidents here. So this downtrend coincides with Nike's revenue issues. When the revenue started to trend down a bit, you've seen that follow through in the stock price with a downtrend as well. If revenues are inflecting higher, I would expect that you'll see this downtrend break. Now, is it going to break today? I mean, stock's up 15%. That's exciting, maybe, or it's promising, but have we actually broken the trend line? No, not yet. It's not an accident. The market is now voting right now. Has the downtrend in revenue broken? Can we break the downtrend in the stock price? So anyway, Mike.
All right. I like that analysis. Yes. And hey, Nike has something working for it. It is a phenomenal brand. It is, it has that. I wish they could bring Michael Jordan out of retirement. Maybe he is still a spokesman, because the Michael Jordan brand was just incredible with Nike. So we'll see, bringing back the old school, the guys of the past. So
well, they're the MVP of the NBA is a Nike athlete, and he just won I don't know if you watch any of the finals, but they just won the finals.
I don't watch. I watch football and baseball, but as you get older, you have to eliminate some sports from your viewing because you just don't have enough time. And sorry, NBA, I'm out.
I get it. I get it.
Well, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to next week and hopefully some more highs.